Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we are doing another color matching video because you guys seem to like them. So let's jump right in and do it. Okay, so today we are doing another color matching challenge and we are color matching skin tones. So skin tones was a little hard for me to get, but I ended up grabbing 4 pictures off of Pinterest, putting them into my Procreate app, and then I color grab from each photo. So this is one thing I love with this app, and I actually use it a lot for things. You can click this little square here and this little circle pops up and you can grab any color from any photo. So I just grabbed each color skin, because there's lots of different tones in one person's skin. I just tried to grab one tone from each skin tone, and you take your finger off and then the color appears up here and you can just start coloring with that. And essentially I made these little blocks of skin tone colors, and then I was trying to match them off of the screen, but with the glare it was really hard for you guys to see it, so I got my husband to print it off. It's not identical, unfortunately. It's just kind of what we're working with, but I feel like you can get the gist of the color. And we're just going to try our best to color match what I have here, maybe make it a little bit more rich in tone based off of these, but we're just going to do it. And the most important thing is that we're doing it with only 4 colors. So I have 8 different colors in my palette, as per usual, but I'm going to try and stick to these 4 colors, and we're making skin colors without using any black, white, or brown paint. So the 4 colors I'm going to be using are cadmium yellow, permanent rose, cadmium red deep, and turquoise to make these skin tones. Okay, so let's just jump right in and start. So the first one I'm going to be mixing is this peachy color. And so let's start with our little kind of criteria for mixing. What is the base color? It is a peach color. So we need to make peach because we don't have peach here, which is pink and yellow. So let's start off with pink and yellow. So we have our pink, and then we're going to grab our yellow, mix it together, and swatch it. Okay. So it's close, but it is not, it's a bit too vibrant, right? We see that it's just a little bit too vibrant for this. So we need to dull it down. That's the next step after. Is it lighter or is it darker than this? So I feel like this is a bit lighter, which means we're gonna have to add a bit more water. So I just put my paintbrush in my jar, run it against the side to lighten it up a bit, and it creates a lighter tone, which is actually closer. Okay, so now we know that we see some sort of kind of muted tone. This is a bit too vibrant, so we need to add its contrast in color. Peach, it derives from the color orange. Orange is contrast in color, sits right across the street. I always say that. Sits right across the color wheel, and it's blue. So we're gonna add a little bit of blue to tone it down. I'm gonna grab a little bit of, that was too much. Okay, but let's just swatch it for fun. See, it's a little bit too brown. Okay, so we need to pink it up just a little bit more pink, a little bit more yellow. Let's try that. Let's move this over. Okay, that's closer. Again, this is a bit too pigmented. Let's make it a little lighter and see if that helps. And that's actually a lot closer. Okay, so let's just swatch that. I'm gonna move this over for a second. And I know the printer quality is not the best, but it's kind of what we're working with here. And because this is such a light skin tone, we don't need as much pigment, so I didn't really need to mix too much more. Okay, but that's pretty close. I feel like I see a little bit more blue in this, but I think that's just the ink. So let's see if I can get this color. Let me just look at my camera. Yeah, see how this is a lot more pigmented? Let's try and make it a bit more pigmented. Creating my peach again, a little bit of blue. I think it's a bit more on the pinkier side. I feel like that's closer to that one, so I think I need to get a bit pinkier. Yeah, like that. Still, it is hard to see under these circumstances that I'm not actually putting it up against a real skin tone. See, that's different than my skin color. All right, but I feel like that's a bit more blue. But it's kind of close. Let's see with the paper. I feel like the paper is a lot lighter. Yeah, it's a lot lighter. This is a bit more of a difficult challenge just because I don't have the real object in front of me. Doing it from a photo is a bit more challenging. Oops, and I'm flicking it all over the place. Okay, but that's pretty close. It would just need to be a bit lighter. So let's even just try and make it a little bit lighter on here. It's too light. It's more like that color right there. You see that? Let's just swatch the other side, that light. And so I use just a little bit of pigment and mostly water. I feel like there's a bit more pink in it. Maybe a tad bit more blue, tad bit more pink. A little bit of yellow. That's too pink. I feel like that's as close as we're gonna get right now. Granted, it is a lot harder to match with watercolor than a traditional paint, but that's kind of the general tone right there, okay? Okay, and so let's move on to our mid kind of tone here. So we can actually compare these two right now. So we know that this has a bit more pinky in it. I see a bit more tan, a bit more brown. It's a bit more golden to me. So in order to make it a bit more golden brown, let's start with our peach color. Okay. And we know we have to mute it to make that brown. So I'm going to add a little bit of blue. Okay, and let's just swatch that just for fun. And see where we have to go. Okay, so this is a bit too blue. It's a bit too brown. I'm seeing a bit more of a golden tone in this one. So we need to add a bit more yellow. Let's see what that does, which makes it a little bit better. I feel like it's a little bit warmer, so I'm just gonna add a little bit of pink. You can even add a little bit of red. Yeah, a little bit of reddish color right there actually is pretty close. Let's swatch that. And again, it's pretty light in tone. It's not too pigmented of a skin tone. It's pretty close actually. I'm gonna try and mix more of that color again. Start with our peach, get our blue. I feel like a little bit more blue, a bit too much, a little bit of red. Yeah. That's pretty close. Now, the one on the screen is going to look a lot different. Yeah, so that's a lot different. Let's try and match a bit more closer to that. So I'm going to make my peach again. Okay, a little bit of blue. And that's actually closer, but I feel like it needs a bit of red. It's a bit of a warmer red and yellow. Like that. So that's closer. It's not as pigmented as the one on the screen, but I feel like that might be too dark. Sorry for like such poor quality printer paper or printer ink, just a printer in general. And there we go. Okay, so we kind of have two similar tones there. I feel like that one really matches this beigey color. All right. So we have those two. Now let's start to get a little bit darker. So in order to make a color darker, we need to add more pigment. So these ones were pretty watered down. We're just gonna add darker pigment to these. Okay, so let's start with this one. It's actually very similar to this. We just need a bit more pigment. Okay, so again, let's start off with our peach mix. Okay, and I'm gonna actually add more paint because again, it needs to be a bit darker. That's pretty peachy. Let's go into our blue and get our brown color. Okay, let's swatch it just to see. That's actually pretty close. I feel like I could go a little bit warmer. I'm gonna add a little bit of red. That's closer. That's actually pretty close. Maybe a tad bit more blue. Yeah, that's actually pretty close. Oh, would you look at that? Okay, I love when that happens like on the first try. Might need to add a bit more pigment. Yeah, to make it a bit darker. So just add more paint. Really, we're just mixing all four of these colors together. Okay, so let's swatch that. It's too blue. Again, make more of that peach color. Just make sure it's on the right track here. I feel like I need a little bit more blue though. There we go. And let's make it a little bit more blue on the other side. Yeah, see now I feel like that's closer. Just adding a bit more blue. I feel like I'm just giving you a different variety of skin tones here. Like that. And there we go for that one. Okay. And then last but not least, our darkest skin tone. Again, similar kind of thing, just we're gonna need to add more pigment and a bit more blue to make it a bit darker. So let's start off with our peach. And I'm really lathering on the paint there so we can get it really nice and pigmented. And then more blue. Okay, now this is kind of making a greenish color. That means I have too much yellow because blue and yellow make green. So I need to warm it up. And that's too red, a little bit more blue. Let's see. It's a bit too gray, so we need to warm it up. This is also a very bad representation of the skin color. Let's see if I can do it from the screen one. This one's a lot warmer of a tone. So more blue, more red, more yellow, more pink, just really adding them all in together until I start seeing something that kind of looks similar to that skin color. Feel like it needs to be a bit warmer. I'm going to add some red, a little bit of yellow. That's closer. Okay, let's swatch that as one. And then I feel like we could go darker too. That's pretty close. I feel like if we just go a bit more pigmented, we can get a bit darker. Okay, let's try again. Lots of pigment this time. A bit more red. Of course. Yeah, that's a bit darker. I'm going to try and get it even darker. Some more pigment. A bit more blue. There we go. Like that. And this one is a bit of a warmer tone. I'm seeing a bit more red in it, so we can even just elaborate on that one a bit. Okay, let's compare it to that paper and just see. And that's pretty close. I feel like this paper is just very, very dark. I could try and get a little bit darker by doing another layer. Just adding more color. Now, could you add black or white to lighten or darken a color? For sure, you can. I'm just saying this is if you have a limited palette and that's what you want to work with. It is totally achievable with just 4 colors. So there you go. That is how you mix different skin tones just using a limited palette of 4 colors. And those 4 colors made essentially 8 different shades of skin. So that's about it, and I hope that that was informative to you guys. And if you guys have any more suggestions of things you'd like me to color match, please let me know in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching my video. I really hope you liked it, and I hope you learned something. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and follow me on Instagram for even more. Have a great day, guys. Bye!